So you'll have to excuse my voice tonight. This is about as loud as I get.
Well, the intro will be good.
Fuck it, we'll just do a Minisode.
Minisode!
Minisode!
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
I'll tell you what, Facebook can be a little bit discretionary when it comes to showing videos. Some people don't like. Jump on Twitter and search Nurkic. Holy crap. There's just GIFs and videos and images. You can't avoid it. Twitter is brutal.
Holy shit. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, like, what's changed. I don't know if, like, we have a generation of bad bones, but, like, honestly, dude, seriously, can you remember an injury like this before, like, Kevin Ware? Like, we had Kevin Ware, we had Paul George. Yeah, Paul George, and now Big Nerd. And it's like Livingston's injury was pretty bad. We've had some pretty bad, like, injuries to some stars, but never, like, bones sticking out.
It's just a freak accident, mate. That's shit happens.
So can you remember?
What I noticed that slightly annoyed me?
What's that?
I don't know if you guys noticed it. Nurkic has snapped his leg. He's lying on the ground and he's clearly in pain. And the ref, like, has no care of stepping over him. Just clips his foot that he's just had his leg half hanging off.
You're joking.
Which would have, like,
You haven't seen that?
pain up his leg. I'm like, you fucking clown.
I mean, I've watched it, but maybe I was just, like, grimacing at the... I didn't see it.
The ref literally just clips his toe and bends the whole foot walking over him.
You're shitting me.
And that's the only thing I keep, like, it made me so angry. I'm like, because if that was me on the ground, I would have just ripped, like...
Oh. Do you reckon he felt it, though? Like, he'd be in shock, right?
He was screaming, man.
He was screaming. Honestly, in terms of, like, I've seen them all. That one looked the worst. I mean, you've got a 300 and something pound guy coming down, and it folded, like, it tried to take all of his weight, and he folded and fell on it as it was folded backwards. Of all the ones I've seen, his was the worst. Didn't
I read a report this morning, though, that he should make a full recovery, and it didn't get any major arteries or something? I think.
No, but can you hear the two snaps on the video?
Yes. Yep.
God, that's insane. That is insane. Oh, my God.
It's clear as day. I mean, obviously the courts are mic'd up so you can hear the squeaking of the shoes and the ball through the net. So, I mean, but holy shit, you can... I heard it as it happened. I knew somebody had snapped something. I didn't realise it was Nurkic, but I was just watching it. I knew somebody had done something. And then when he just... Oh, man. But it was so loud. It was just brutal.
You know what this means, Benson? It means no championship for everyone now.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Up until then, they were in. They were like, so you can put off the designing of the championship rings now, Portland.
Okay, well, that aside, like, Portland have made the play. How bittersweet, right? Like, that happens and you make the play. Like, that was the game that solidified their playoff spot.
Yeah.
That's hard to swallow. So I'm thinking, this is more minutes for Cantor. Obvious. Too soon? But, you know what I reckon they should do? I reckon Portland should obviously slide Cantor into the starting spot. And I think they should go and sign Randolph. Big Zebo. Bring him back to Portland.
They might sign Melo.
How dare you? How you take your potty mouth and get out of here, buddy.
Got him off to bed. See you later, boys. I don't think anyone's signing Melo.
I think Zebo's got a better chance of getting re-signed than Melo right now.
I don't think so, mate.
Hey, I listened to Tony Allen this morning and he said that Zebo's been in the gym working out. He's ready to go. Zebo give you a good 10 and 10?
Yeah, every 10th game. Yep.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
Hey, Benson, I tagged you. I mentioned you on Twitter.
Ooh.
I don't know if you saw it yet.
Did you? I didn't.
I'll tell you what it is.
I watched something the other day. Actually, was it yesterday?
No, it was this afternoon.
No, I would have missed it.
So they just had Doc Rivers coming into the Clippers locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, ESPN had us at 33 wins, Vegas had us at 33, and Charles Barkley 33. He busts out this big bottle of champagne and hands it to Danilo, and Danilo shakes it, and it goes everywhere. And I'm like, you guys celebrate those
Celebrating their 83rd game.
Well, I watched that.
The only time champagne gets busted out in the Clippers dressing room.
You should be careful, Vince. You should be very careful, because I watched that actually on the way home on the train, and watching it, I initially thought the same thing, but then I was actually like, you know what? Considering the season you guys have had, the Lakers, what would be like the thing that would like irk you even more than the year you've had? I tell you what would irk you even more: a Clippers title banner up in the rafters.
That will down.
That's going to happen, mate.
You're taking your money from Portland and putting it on the Clippers now, eh?
No, I'm not. But I just thought, don't jinx them. I knew you were going to bring it up tonight. I was like, don't jinx them. Jesus, you'd be...
Jinx them? We want to jinx them. Benson, does he know what he's talking about?
Well, look...
jinxes work, right? Come on. That is a sad state of affairs, that you are popping bottles because you made it past 82.
Well, all I know is they're in the playoffs. LA is not. But speaking of...
Mate, we just, we like I've said to you before, we look up in those rafters and we count 16 and we feel a lot better.
Well, let's come back down to earth. And look, last week we talked about some teams that were eliminated. Not many teams eliminated this week. I don't know if we'll dive into the ones, because look, we did cover a lot of LA last week.
Yeah, we did.
And I don't want to rub salt in the wound, but I do feel like we should talk about what's going on right now with Lonzo Ball. I kind of like it. I like that he's kind of taking things into his own hands. He's taking his career into his own hands, and I mean, look, I'm not sure if this is going to lead to a deal with Nike. All signs kind of point to yes, but he's on Instagram. He's taken off all pictures of BBB, LeVar balls all off as well, and I just saw this afternoon he got his BBB tattoo covered up.
Indeed he did.
Interesting. Some thoughts, guys?
I'll let Benson go first, see what he thinks.
I don't blame him for trying. I like the entrepreneurial spirit of what they were trying to do, and at the time there were some key players across plenty of sports who were saying that it was admirable what they were trying to do. I think, unfortunately, LeVar Ball was involved, and it was probably doomed to start, if we're all being completely honest. But he doesn't need distractions. He's had an injury-riddled season. He's had, a season where he's been pulled in and out of games and rosters. And look, I think he feels like enough's enough. Like, he's coming up to what will effectively be a contract year, or the Lakers' decision to extend his rookie contract. And he's got to be his own man. I think he's sick of the circus. I think he saw glimpses of his potential this season, and he would have had LeBron in his ear as well. LeBron would be mentoring him to a degree, and I'm sure he's told him that, LeBron's only got 3, 4, 5 seasons in him. This could be Lonzo's team if he plays this right, and it's time to man up and fly the nest. So I'm stoked. I think Nike's going to pick him up, and I'm expecting big things from a hopefully uninjured Lonzo next season.
Vince.
It's a bit like Benson. Like, I thought it was LeVar's full of...
You bought shares, come on.
Hot air, but I did like the fact that this is a guy who just, he saw a spot out there in the market that he thought he could make money from. They've obviously made some money, but I went to one guy I always go to is Marcellus Wiley. He said it the best. He and Coutinho Mobley actually said it the best. LeVar had a good idea. He just spread himself out a bit too thin and probably didn't vet this guy, Alan Foster, like he should have. He spread him out too thin, himself out too thin, and he said to this guy, you take care of the money, I'll take care of getting the brand out there, promoting it, and it's cost him. And now he's, from all reports, it's not just Lonzo, it's the other two as well who've just
really
cut their dad off,
which
is a shame because
That's a bit sad, man. Like, end of the day, you know,
because LeVar, you cannot deny LeVar loves his kids, like like we all do. So, you know, and there's going to be peanuts out there who are happy that this has happened, but at least he had the balls to go out and try and build something. Probably didn't do it the right way, but like Marcellus Wiley said, there'll be another company out there that's seen this, and they'll come out and do it better than LeVar did. But on the court, I think might probably be more than likely be a positive for Lonzo. You know, I think he's just going to come back a better player next year. I always thought he would anyway. I just think this has just accelerated the process. I think he's going to be really good next year, and hopefully he gets the keys to the offense full time.
You want to think about it more. You know, I think LeVar kind of nails it, you know, when he says stay in your lane, you know, because it's we look at how loud and at times obnoxious LeVar Ball is, but that's not really Lonzo's game at all, you know, like he's pretty soft-spoken. Like, I think he's just, like, decided to take away all the distractions from his life, you know, like, and really focusing. I like the fact that he's, you know, this appears to be the way he's going, and I wish him the best, but in the day, that's still his dad, you know, like that's, you know, it's a bit sad if all ties are cut and, you know, he's not, like, they're not on speaking terms. I don't want to see that. Like you said, Vince, like, he loves his kids. You can't question that, but
I don't know if it's that deep. I read today that it's purely from a business point of view, from a basketball point of view. Dad's going to have nothing to do with what I do outside of our family unit. So hopefully this is that, because it would be terrible if it severed the relationship, because I mean we've seen the documentaries and the TV shows and stuff, and that dude just loves his kids.
Yeah,
and I think Benson's right too. I think LeBron was in his ear big time. And I think Stephen A had another good point. He's looking at a guy like Magic Johnson, who was an elite athlete, and now is like an awesome businessman and did it all on his own. I think he can look at a guy like Magic as well, and Magic's probably been in his ear as well. Probably the only good thing he's done this year. So, yeah, not to bang on about it. I'm looking forward to seeing Lonzo turn it on next year.
Yeah, I think the Lakers and LeBron in particular, I think they're all in on Lonzo. I don't know whether they've just come around to it after the trade deadline, or the whole Anthony Davis thing simmered down and they've looked at it all, analysed it all, and I genuinely believe that I would be shocked if he was moved, and I think that Rondo won't be re-signed, and I think he's going to be their motor next season.
Well, look, last week we touched on a few teams that have been eliminated. One of them was the Phoenix Suns. Vince, you made an interesting call, I think, in that show, where you said that you questioned whether Devin Booker was blue chipper, I think you said. Is that the words?
Yep, still do.
Is that the phrase? Phoenix make like a bit of a questionable move, I thought, and sign Jimmy Fredette for a 2-year deal, who's a 2-guard who plays the same position as their franchise player. Then we had his first game, a Phoenix game in Utah. So Fredette's sort of a homecoming with Fredette. And I don't know, I watched the game. I thought Jimmo looked a bit nervous, and obviously, you know, he's trying to prove some things, prove that he belongs in the league. And fair enough. I mean, the guy's been destroying it in China. There's just some salty fucking fans out there, and I thought we raised some good points about Booker. And look, 59 points. Utah had control of that game the whole way, and people were all pissy with Coach Snyder for pulling the plug on Booker's 60-point night. I actually thought the other way with it. I actually thought this was like perfectly orchestrated by Snyder. Like, they basically let Booker do whatever he wanted, but shut absolutely everyone else down. I thought it was like fucking great coaching. And then, like, in the last 2 minutes, like, it was clear what Phoenix were doing, because they did it in Boston, you know, last season. And then Snyder, like, shuts it down. He's like, no, you're not getting your 60. I don't care if it's the last 2 minutes. I don't care if we're up by, 20 plus. You know, I can almost stop you anytime. Like, and people are all pissy with Snyder about it.
Just on Jimmo for a second. He wasn't nervous. He's just crap.
I don't think he's crap. I think he could find a spot. But, look, I mean, he was 1 from 10. So not a good outing.
He's terrible.
6 points on the night, 1 for 10, played 14 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and... I like Jimmo. I wish him the best, but, I mean, that stat line is what it is.
So much?
What's that?
Why do you like Jimmer so much?
I don't know. Just I hope he does well. But in saying that, I mean, Booker shoots 34 shots. 34 fucking shots. Plays 41 minutes, puts up 34 shots. I mean, as far as shot attempts, the next closest was Jimmer with the 10. But then after that, like, nothing over 8 for anyone else. I mean,
Jesus.
like, fucking, what a waste of their draft pick. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't think he gets it. And then people calling out, free Booker, free Booker. Booker doesn't fucking get it.
No, like I said a few weeks ago, there's no way he's a Phoenix Sun in like 2 years. I think they'll go all in on Aiden. And
So they should.
yeah, they should. I agree. He just, to me, he's a very good basketball player, but I'm not sure he's that guy that's going to be the best player on a championship team.
But I mean, they stopped. Like he didn't get touches, man. I'm surprised he finished with 9 points, 1 block, 2 steals, 7 boards. I mean, he was lucky to get that because they were not giving him the ball. Like he was just running. He was just running back and forth all game.
Yeah, look, I reckon privately he'd be seeding.
Fucking oath.
Yeah. Listen, we're trying to swear less on the show.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I can't.
That was the first thing that popped into my head.
I can't make those promises. I'm sorry. I just can't. I wish we could get this PG, but I can't. I'm sorry. Forgive.
Sorry, Brian.
Sorry, Brian. My bad, Brian.
Fucking kids. No. Sorry, Callum, if you are listening. Love you, mate. Yeah, what are you going to do? I mean, he's just... I don't know. He still seems quite one-dimensional. He doesn't seem to take too much pride on defense. Doesn't seem to crash the boards as much as he probably could at his height, at his position. He likes to get buckets, but, I mean, Jesus Christ. DeAndre Ayton, did you say 9 shots?
Yeah, he had 9 points. Let me just count. He had
9 points.
9 points, but all right, it's even better. So 7 field goal attempts. 7. That's your number 1 pick.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That's shit.
But, you know, look, I'm looking at that stat line and I'm going, all right, Booker had 34 shot attempts. Why can't you take 10 off and try to turn them into assists and move the ball? I mean, the commentators were talking about, you know, what's Snyder doing? You know, doesn't mean anything. This is something that, you know, by Booker getting 60 points would do so much for this Phoenix squad as far as growth. Oh, it's fucking not.
Who was saying that? The commentators?
The commentators, man. Obviously, like Phoenix homers, but it does nothing for them. This game did nothing for anyone on that basketball court except for Booker.
No, good on Snyder. Shut it down.
Bloody oath.
Yeah, if you put up big numbers in a loss, that doesn't mean shit to me. Seriously, like, Kobe's 81, not only did the Lakers come from behind and keep the Lakers in the game, I mean, he didn't have anyone else to pass to, but it won the game. Kobe's last game, he's 60, it won the game. Like, flat out, hands down, won the game. If you're putting up big numbers at the tail end of the season when one team's clinched, one team's eliminated, no one gives a shit. Yeah, I'm doing what Snyder did too.
Yeah, 100%. And, like, it's such a contrast looking at that game and looking at Utah, like, just field goal attempts for starters. Field goals. Favors was 13 attempts. Ingles 11. Gobert was 11. Rubio had 9. Mitchell had 14. Crowder had 10. Like, so evenly spread. Like, I didn't get Booker, man. I think I'm 100% with you, man. I just don't think he gets it. Anyway.
Wait till he's on the Grizz.
How dare you?
This is the most offensive Minisode we've had for quite a while. Quite a few how dare yous.
I can see the Grizz pulling something off for Devin Booker.
Oh, that didn't sound good at all.
I can see Wayne pulling something off.
I love my fucking team right now. We are fucking. I love the guys. They're so good. They're so that win against OKC was just fantastic.
Oh, they won. I was avoiding the score, and I'm going to watch it tonight.
Dude, oh sorry.
No, that's all right.
Oh,
I figured
man.
they did. You were telling me to watch it. I figured they did.
Can you please watch it and tell me what you thought? Like this team they're just a lot of fun to watch, and they've all got like a little bit of chip on their shoulder. I don't know. I love the squad right now. I love the
How do
sport.
they keep in it? Is it defensive or are they all scoring?
It's such an even spread, and we won that game without who was out? Conley was out.
Oh,
Avery Bradley was out. Noah was out. So,
no way.
yep, it was fan.
Who's that for OKC? Did Paul George not play?
Paul George played. You know what? Actually, I'm glad you kind of brought that up because I don't think Paul George is the same since his shoulder injury.
You're right. Can you listen? If you're going to open up YouPorn, close the podcast.
Sorry. I thought I had it on mute. My bad.
Well, you know who had a pearler for you blokes? Jonas.
Oh, man, he's been playing fantastic. If we don't fucking re-sign him, I'm going to hit the roof.
I told your ass, didn't I?
Tell you who fucking played fantastic, though?
Chandler Parsons, 8 points.
No, not Parsons. Bruno, mate.
Bruno Cabolka, come off it, Wayne.
Dude, Vince, you won't watch a game. Vince, watch the game. Tell me.
No, I won't watch it. No.
24 points, 11 boards. Man, he smashed them. Great. But, OKC, though, few concerns, man. Like, I mean, I know they're at the moment, like, they're in the playoffs, but, I mean, they could quite easily lose it. I mean, a loss to the Grizzlies doesn't help their chances at all. But Westbrook, I mean, I don't know what's the story with him and his free throws. His jump shot is off. They just don't seem to be in sync.
Yeah, they're not advancing.
And I just don't see. I don't know. Paul George is the one that actually worries me because I actually think if he just doesn't seem at full strength, and he's the one who could carry him through a series, you know.
Yeah, I don't think they can win 4 out of 7.
No, neither do I. Well, look, the other team that did fall out of the playoff contention was the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we should talk about them. 33-41, 3-7 in their last 10. Obviously, a lot of turmoil. A new coach halfway through the year. Some trades. Some thoughts on Minnesota, guys. Where are they? What went wrong? And where are they going?
Well, what went wrong was Tom Thibodeau, Jimmy Butler trade. I still think the future's massively bright for Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns is legit turning into an absolute superstar. Yes, Wiggins is a slight worry.
Yep. AKA Jeff Green.
I tell you what, it's getting there. I would definitely shop him around come draft time. See what's out there. Dangle him a little. I think they missed Covington. Covington's 3-D.
Yeah.
Hell of a player, Robert Covington. I'd hand the keys over to Tyus. I nearly said Tyus Edney. Tyus Jones.
Showing our age.
Yep. I'd hand the keys over to Tyus Jones. He knows how to run a team. I would get rid of Jeff Teague in a heartbeat. Re-sign D Rose, 6-man. I'm telling you, the future's bright. They're going to bring back Ryan Saunders. I like him. Players love him. This season to me was just a blip in the radar.
Right.
On the radar or in the radar? On the radar.
On the radar.
Sorry, I had a Wayne attack then.
Stu, some thoughts on Mini?
Very similar. I don't think you lose anything in terms of chemistry, production. Somebody will step up and fill a Wiggins void if you were able to offload him to a team who was maybe young, wanted somebody in that semi-vet range, which he technically is. So, yeah, you wouldn't miss a beat. More minutes for Okogie and more ball for him.
Okogie's awesome. My God.
Look, I think he's got a lot of potential. He still does, sort of rookie-ish shit, but he has a terrible high top fade with a receding hairline for somebody his age. But
Wayne.
Hey. I'll say it again.
But,
how dare you?
But yeah, look, Cat's a beast. They're not letting him go, nor should they. He could be a lifer. And his contract dictates at least they can build around him. I don't know. I just think that they're still young. They're going to have a young coach who will get an off season with these guys. Hopefully, be able to make some moves around draft time. All's not lost. The playoffs were never going to happen after the Butler trade and the Thibodeau debacle. But look, to echo what Vince said, I guess it could be worse. and they've got a cornerstone in Cat, and people are going to want to play with a big fella like him.
I've got a question.
Uh-oh.
If you're...
go ahead. Sorry.
God. If you're whoever their GM is, Minnesota, I would be calling Mitch Kupchak and just going, look, we've got Wiggy sitting over here. Can we do something for Kemba Walker?
I think he's more likely...
Shut up, Wayne. Walker and Towns. Oof, hello.
Well, I think he's more inclined to call Mitch in Charlotte and go, hey, have you got a job? Because word is he's on his way out. He's on his way out, so I don't think he's doing much calling to anyone at the moment.
How about Glenn Taylor?
Look, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too, right? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know that Ryan Saunders has done enough. Sanders, fucking whatever.
Well, we used to call his dad Flip Sounders.
Yeah, I know.
You call him Ryan Sanders.
I'm tired. Look, I don't know if he's done enough. Maybe, I don't know, man. It's just, I suppose it just depends. If he does have the players here, that's great. I mean, I don't know if that's enough. If he does get the gig, though, I'm just really interested to see what they do with this squad right now because, like you guys mentioned, there's still the scent of Coach Thibs on this roster, right? Like all the way through. So I am totally with you guys with Wiggins. You need to shop him. I mean, it's much like last week when talking about Booker and talking about, the excuses only last so long, but once you hit that big boy money, that big contracts, I mean, it's on you to show and prove. And Wiggins has just, man, he's been such a disappointment this year. I think even more than last year. I've definitely dubbed him the new Jeff Green because the inconsistency, man, between those guys is just remarkable. But yeah, I mean, where do you go from here? I mean, look at this roster, man. I mean, what's happening with Derrick Rose? They did get hampered with a lot of injuries as well. I mean, Jeff Teague done his usual thing, sit out half the season. Just so many injuries. Rose had flashes, but in and out.
They do need to keep Covington and Saric.
Well,
they have to.
And that's another name, Covington. He was fantastic that first month in Minnesota, and then injury bug. That was him for the season. I mean, is this going to be a regular thing with him? But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, our good friend over at Timberwolves Explosion, Joey. Oh, that really hurt my throat.
Take the dick out of it.
Oh, and you want me to keep it PG? Come on. That was my suggestion. It was like, I'd be more. Maybe they should consider bringing Wiggins off the fucking bench. As ridiculous as that sound, they're not going to because of the size of his contract. But honestly, I'd be starting Dario and bringing Wiggins off the bench. Maybe the less pressure on Wiggins will fucking light a bit of fire in his belly because he's just a waste right now.
I don't even think that'll work, mate. I just don't think he's got that burn inside him.
He just seems content, and all the interviews with him after games, especially when he's had lackluster games, just lackluster responses as well. He's quick to throw it on shitty Minnesota fans. It's like, hang on, the Minnesota fans weren't out there for 48 minutes fucking twiddling their thumbs. They were in the fucking stands screaming at you to fucking do something. Jesus, man.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. Some players have it, right? They get the media part of it, and they're well spoken, but they also get that's part of the territory. If you want to be a super duper star, you got to handle the media and you got to say the right thing. And there are some very well spoken superstars, and this kid gets in front of a camera and he carries on like a fucking high school All-American.
100%.
Some of the shit that he says and some of the ways in which he says it, or some of the ways in which he can't articulate what he should be saying. I mean, even if you don't want to say it, you just say it because it's all part and parcel of your position in the team and the money you're getting paid.
Dude,
and he just doesn't get it.
No one else on that roster came close to his salary this year. Do you want to have a guess how much he earned this year?
Oh, dude, I don't even know.
25 mil, and that's his effort this year. What? How fucking ridiculous! 25 mil, man.
Oh.
Ridiculous.
I can't even think what roster he helps if they did trade him. Like,
I think
I don't
him.
know where he'd be a good fit.
I think him and Booker would be perfect teammates in Phoenix. But just dismal, man. I really look. I like Mini. I have a little bit of a soft spot for them. Vince, I know they're your second team, but man, I'm actually looking forward to a lot of changes next year for Minnesota. I mean, it kind of feels like they have to start from scratch.
Yeah, I don't think they have to start from scratch.
Well,
I think there's enough.
They've got
there.
they've definitely got their franchise guy, and I think he's especially since the Butler trade, he's definitely showed improved since then. But I mean, as far as the rest, they need to surround him with guys that can help him.
Reverse the trade. Send Wiggins back to Cleveland for Kevin Love.
I'd actually do that.
I don't oppose that.
I'd do that. Let Kevin Love retire. Kevin Love's body's failing him. He's going to have to retire in a couple of seasons. Let him play out his contract in Minnesota, finish it where it started, and, yeah, do it.
Just also, if you want to hear more, if you want to hear a man who's totally broken, probably more broken than me, you should probably check out Timberwolves Explosion on he's on iTunes, but he's broken. Probably just cheer him up, give him a download, send some love over there. He's hanging for a chip. He hasn't seen one. He wants one. He's losing hair over it. Whatever he's got left. He's working hard.
Well, we're trying to make him feel better, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Come over there. Give him a download and just send some love over there.
Wow.
Sorry, Joey. Yeah, you can create at kids' parties. Bloody hell.
I mean, I just want to see the Wolves do well. Like, they've had, they missed the playoffs for like 14 years or whatever it was, and they get a little taste and you're out again.
Yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. They've got that absolute gun of a superstar, Zach LaVine.
Oh, careful. That's a touchy subject in Minnesota.
Well, look, let's wrap the show up. I just wanted to give the courtside salute to Chris Bosh, who had his jersey retired in Miami. I don't know if you guys caught any of the highlights today.
I did, actually, yes. Is he worthy of getting his jersey retired there?
I'm just kind of glad he did. A bit of a shame, like, his career coming to an end the way it did, like, very short. Even up to that point, like, he was, him re-signing Miami, I thought, spoke volumes about, I suppose, his loyalty to them, but, saying that is sort of a bit backhanded after he bounced from Toronto, I suppose. But, yeah, like, I still feel like, playing the tanks, just unfortunate the way it all unfolded, and then I don't know about you guys, but I always felt like there was a comeback coming. Like, I always thought, like, maybe a season or two off and he'd be back in the league. Maybe not the player he was, but I definitely thought he'd be back in the league. So, yeah, a little bittersweet for him, I think.
Well, if he can get his jersey retired, Pau Gasol should.
I don't think the Spurs want to hang it up, man. I don't know.
How dare you? Before we wrap up the show, I just want to give a shout out to two people. One is a good friend of mine, Mr. Joe Kickass.
Right on.
That's his. He's just started his wrestling career, and that's his name, Joe Kickass. Can you believe
Joe
it?
Kickass.
Yeah. Nah. He's he just asked if I could shout him out. Next one is my lawyer, Steve Rodgick. He put me over. Put me over on Facebook, which Wayne absolutely hated. Yeah, Rodgick knows that I'm the star.
Whatever.
Rodgick knows, mate.
Stop swelling his head, Steve. Come on. I feel like we should come up with, if you guys are really not going to do the slap bet, I feel like we should come up with alternative punishment.
Oh, you know what? I was saving it for Easter. It's my Easter present for you, all right?
You're going to pay up?
I'll do it.
Fine.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to dub the audio. The second my hand hits my face, you're going to hear Nurkic's leg snap.
Oh, no. Oh.
Do you know what? My 8-year-old daughter kept rewatching it.
So did my 11-year-old daughter.
What is wrong with these kids?
I couldn't stomach it, man. I could barely watch it the first time.
I I literally like howled through the house going, oh, and then what happened? I'm like, oh, this dude on TV. And Georgia saw it. She thought it was Aaron Baines.
Oh.
Tall guy with a reddish sort of a beard. I'm like, no. She's like, no, that's the Australian guy. I'm like, no, it's not. And then I come into her bedroom 10 minutes later, and she's just watching it on loop. I'm like, you're a sadist.
I'm just glad he was wearing like the leg warmers. Like if he was just wearing, because that like kept everything like the compression pants. Because if he hadn't had that, and I would have actually seen bone, I think I literally would have spewed a bit. Like definitely something would have come up. So
it was, and of all, it was Jared effing Dudley's foot that he landed on.
Fucking donut king.
Dead set, Pudgy Dudley. Get me. Oh.
I just find it like I don't know. I'm always like, oh, why does everyone like run away? But then I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand.
Oh.
It's a bit harrowing.
And you know what else it does?
It's just. Ew, I don't want to see it.
You know what else it does? If you've got even just an inkling to go and play some pickup ball on the weekend, you're like, you know what? I'm 42. I'm not going to go do that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, tomorrow night, it's all I'm going to be thinking about.
Oh.
It's the same when Kobe did his Achilles. I'm like,
I was just like, I'm never jumping again.
Geez.
I'm never literally just,
I'm
just going to slide my feet everywhere. I'm going to go through so many shoes. I don't care. Slide. Oh, there's Wayne in his thongs again.
Curling.
I stopped dunking after that. I'm not dunking. Some good pop.
Here it comes. Watch out. Here it comes. Watch out.
Ball